Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Irviansyah, and today we gonna doing a weekend tech talk with Mr. Kalingga. And how you're staying, Mr. Kal?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so okay, so sorry.
So
So
I
I want
wanna ask
before
before
we
we
start the weekend tech talk. So uh,
uh,
from when you uh, try
try
to
to
make
make
UX design are
are
from
from
IDN
India.
or from before?
Okay, so I did learn UX from I think in middle high school. It's ninth grade exactly. So in the end of the year of twin wait no I started designing graphic design and visual stuff. Actually, in the elementary school on the sixth grade, you just I just using a simple Photoshop to create a brochure or whatever, forget and stuff. And then on the middle high school, I started to gain some interest about visual designing, like illustrating, designing a poster, or creating logos using Illustrator. Yeah, and on the I think in middle high school on the ninth grade, in at the end of 2019, the December, right before the COVID pandemic, uh, my mother actually informed me that there's an IT camp held by IDN here. So, and then I think there's some 6 or 7 class. It's talked about IoT, Internet of Things, creating robots from Arduino stuff, and then 3D designing and coding some rekayasa perangkat lunak, and then TKJ using kind of playing with software, I think, and the other one is also TKJ, but it's a cybersecurity. And I kind of like I didn't have any schedule for the end of the year, so I, it might be a good opportunity to start learning. Kind of goes deeper to designing. So I joined the multimedia side of the IT Fest. The IT Fest is 5 days camp at the IDN, I think, and right there in the first 2 days, I started learning about UX. They told me to make an app, you just not randomly start designing. You have to have some proper research to find the audience, find the solution, defining the problems, and all of that kind of stuff. And then you translate that solution into a design. So yeah, in that 5 day of IT camp, I didn't learn UX also, so I didn't learn about some of videography, making some short movies, and I also did change class to the TKJ to the net cybersecurity because there's a lot of hackers roaming around in the internet, so I kind of like wanted to learn about it a little bit. Yeah, that's probably the start of me liking UX design.
Okay, so in this weekend tech talk, you wanna
Make
make
UX
UX
design,
web
web design,
design,
right?
right?
Yeah, we're gonna make a simple web design using Figma, and I'm gonna teach you guys a little bit the basic of Figmas. Well, Actually, we didn't gonna make any UX research or anything. We just gonna design a simple web design in Figma. And why do we use Figma? That's a good question. I mean, as we know, Adobe, you have to pay Adobe to use the app or correct it. And this is not a correct tutorial for cracking Adobe's app. So the simple and as you know, the main application thing to make an illustration is most people know is Adobe Illustrator and it's paid and you have to correct it and it is not that simple, I think. So the main alternative, I mean, there's a lot of main alternative of what is it called Illustrator, but in Figma, not only just you can design an illustration in Figma, and it's free, and you can share it with your friends, partner, or other employees if you're working in a company, and you can prototype it also. Yeah, so that's the main advantage of Figma. And for UIX design or UI designing, there's actually three apps that I know that you can use to design something: Sketch, Adobe XD, and Figma. The first time, actually, Adobe XD is the first app that I used to design UI on it because back in the days, I kind of like cracking Adobe's app for no reason. So I crack literally almost every Adobe apps and then sell it to my friend for 10,000 rupiah, I think. And oh yeah, and I started learning Adobe XD in the IT camp, in the EDN IT camp, and yeah, and after the IT camp, I got interested in kind of like design in the EDN boarding school itself. So I decided to continue study it at EDN, and at EDN, actually they told us to use Figma rather than Adobe XD because Figma is free. It has a lot of features, features, a lot of new features, uh, and then you can share it with your friends. And it also can work kind of like Discord. You have now Figma updated to have a voice message, and and there's also FigJam. You can use it to brainstorm your ideas with your teams or employees.
So, where are you get the knowledge of your UX, or it's from YouTube or something, or you buy a course from Udemy or something?
Okay, so I know UX actually from Adobe, not Adobe, IDN Boarding School, like I said before, and yeah, I think in IDN Boarding School, in the IT camp exactly, I started to know what is UX, what and like what's behind a person that making an app that I use a lot. We use a lot, I suppose. And then after the IT camp, my friends actually also like UI UX and designing apps. So they told me Udemy is opening up some discount on their course about Adobe XD and UI UX, and I was like kind of like asking my mom to buy it, and she bought it for me, and then that's basically a start. I kind of like doing it on my free times. Rather than watching YouTube and playing games, I watch the Udemy course. It's kind of a lot of material on it. I think there's 98 classes that you need to go, and and then after I got in the demo school, they also taught me more in depth about UX by Mr. Azrul. You can search it in the social media, Hazrul Aswad. Thank you, Mister, for teaching me. And yeah, I think that's it. Well, most of it I learned by myself using online courses. And the second one is in IDN because no matter how good the course is, an offline learning is, I think, kind of like a bit better than course. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, so
I want to see what's your UI/UX web design like. So can I see it, the result first? Okay.
I think I do have it, but since we learning the basic of Figma also in it, so I just gonna make a random website along with me explaining the Figma. So I think you just gonna make a simple website, the landing page, and we gonna see it later on in the video.
also
Also,
the
the
UX
UI/UX
web design
landing
it's
page
not
is
already done.
already done.
Yeah, I haven't make it, so we gonna make it. So we gonna make it. We both gonna make it together.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So
we
we
just
just
start now.
start now.
I mean, yeah, of course, why not? Anyway, okay, so this is the main interface after you downloaded the Figma. Well, you need to sign it first, but this is kind of like the home screen or the file management from Figma. As you can see right here, you have design file. This is the basic file that you use to design something, and this is FigJam. The difference between this file, design and prototype, and FigJam. Design and prototype, as you can tell, is about designing and prototyping an app or web, whatever it is. And for FigJam, it's kind of like for what is it? Brainstorming with your teams. There's a whiteboard and diagram, so you and your team can dump all of your ideas in FigJam and translate it on whiteboard or maybe sticky notes or whatever, and then you make a design file to design it. As you can see, I have a lot of files in it that my project files that I've been working probably about years. And you can also import files. Maybe like you found a cool Fig, Figma file resource online, and you download it and you just uh, import it with this file. In the top right hand corner, you have your account. This is my account and settings, and right next to it there's a notification. Oh yeah, and in the left top corner you have this Figma logo and my name and email in it. But when you press it, there's a pop-up showing up that you can change to a community or your files or your main home screen. And if you change it to communities, Okay, it's loading. Wait a minute. There's it. So Figma has a kind of like a community. So and then in the community, sometimes people just share their project. Like as you can see, there's an icon, the illustration, or maybe an app UI mobile kit, and then they just share it in here, so we can duplicate it and then use it for our for helping us when working on our projects. And then there's also an animation, you know, it's kind of fun to have a community to help you out, designing your project or whatever it is. You can also you can you can also search for plugins and kind of like maybe Unsplash for downloading an image or Icon Font Explorer. I don't know what it is, but okay. And gradient or color generators or icons and other stuff you can search in here. You can also search for widgets. I've actually haven't tried anything the widgets the widget has done because it is a new update from Figma, but I think other people hype to it. I think they use it a lot, but I still don't know how to use it. So to go back is tap the word icon in the left top left hand corner, then just press back to your email, and then you have all of your file again. Okay, now to make on the website, we have to make the file first, and then to do that, just simply double press the designing file button in here. Wait till load, and there you have it. This is the main interface of uh, Figma designing system. As you can see, you have the zoom indicator in here. I'm using a Mac, so it's Command Plus. I think in Windows or PC is Control or Option Plus. I forgot. And in the middle side, you have the name and file settings, and you have this uh, tools upside here. You have the move tool, the frames, and then shape. You can make a rectangle line, whatever it is. You have a pen tool, text, and the new widget and plugins and components sorting system, I think, and this move handle to move it if you have a mouse or anything. And if you're working in a team, you can share it right here in a big share, and then share it, get the coupling and share to your teams, and then your teams can also check a comment on your design. So, oh yeah, and to make the frame or the artboard for designing the web, you simply just press the tools next to the move tools, the frame tools, or simply just press F on the keyboard, and then there's a thing that show up in your left panel. Go to and then you can also use a lot of what is it called artboard or frames of other phone, iPhones, iPhone AC, Android. There's tablet also, iPad, Surface, and then desktop for laptops. You can also make a presentation in here. Maybe you didn't know how to use PowerPoints and what to have flexibilities on or your presentation. You can also make it in here. Oh, and then there's also watch, paper to design poster or other things, social media if you wanna post an Instagram post or whatever it is. And that's it. There's the more things. So in order to make a web, you just uh, click the desktop, and wait, no, the presentation actually, because most of the website today, our laptop screen is 1920 by 1080 pixels or 16 by 9 aspect ratio. So you just press that, and there you go. You have that. So now you have the artboard or the frame to do whatever you want actually. And then so now to add some shape or elements to your web design, you just click the next next tool beside the frame, or if you want to make a rectangular, ellipse, polygon, or anything, you can just click this arrow down button, the little arrow down button, or pressing R for rectangular, L for line, Shift L for arrow, and O for ellipse, and Shift Command K for replacing an image from a from a from a rectangular. You can also make some cool graphic stuff with pen tool. Maybe if you use Adobe Illustrator a lot, you use pen tool to make some stuff right here. I don't know what it is. And then after you make it, just click done and delete it. And and then next up you have this side panels here. In the design tab you have the frame that you made, and the align shortcut. If you have a rectangular and you want to put it in the dead center, you just press align horizontal and then the verticals, and now it's in the middle of the frame. Below that you have the frame option. You can have it on a landscape or portrait mode, and then the position on a XY axis. And below that we have the width and height. And since we use 19 by 16 by 9 aspect ratio, so we use 1920 by 1080. And below that, below the width, you have the rotation. If you drag it along, you will rotate it. You can also type it whatever it is, and 0, and then next to that is the corner radius to smooth out the corner on your design. And you can also custom it with next to it, and you can custom it by pressing the next independent corner radius. Maybe let's say if you wanna have a sharp top left, top left, what is it, corner. So I don't know the exact number for each corner, so I just usually test it by if this there's not 0. Oh yeah, there it is. Maybe this one or this one. No, yeah, kind of like that. And then below that you have the green blue checkbox that says clip content. What a clip content is, maybe like you want to design something that pops out from the frame like this, and then you can see the other half of it, right? And if you press the slide name or the artboard name, and then uncheck the clip content, so you just unclip it, and there you go. You can see it, but the the rectangular is still inside the frame, because when you drag it outside the frame, it will go outside right there. Oh yeah, I forget to mention left one, the left sidebars, it's kind of like the layers panel on the what is Photoshop and Illustrator. Uh, this is the frame, the desktop. And oh yeah, quick tips: if you're designing a web or mobile app, don't forget to rename the frames because it just make your life a lot more easier. Let's say we're gonna say web site design. Now, and if you rename it that way, when you export it, the file will also name after in the same name of your layers name. And next to the layers text, and there's an assets. And these assets usually used for components or maybe buttons or uh, navigation bar or anything or any or what it is, whatever it is. And then back to the right side corners, you have the layers. You can change the layer mode to anything, pass through normal or what it is, and you can change the opacity. And then the, and below that you have the fill or the colors. You can press this white box or colored box in here and just color it whatever you want. Or maybe you find a cool color in the internet and you have the hex code and you just copy it right here with 0000 and that is black. And next to that there are also an opacity percentage. The difference between this fill opacity and this fill opacity. Let's say you have a design inside it uh, that or maybe a rectangular. If you lower the pass-through opacity of the layers, which it's mean the entire design or component inside the layer, what is it called, inside the frame or layers, the website design. Wait, it's not supposed to be space. There you go. Like I said, it will lower the opacity of everything inside it. Let's say 50. See, also the box inside it also turn black. Eh, also the opacity turn down. And then if you change the opacity to in the fill area, the blacks only the black or only the selected items colors that turn a little bit and the opacity turn a little bit low. There you go, kind of like that. And there's a cool shortcut actually. If you press your box or text and you lower the opacity on, you just simply can press 0 on your keyboard and it just goes back to 100. Like in the button says that opacity set to 90s 100. And yeah, that's a simple quick explanation. So if you want to make a stroke to add a stroke to your rectangular, you can press this plus button and then just add the stroke. You can also setting it to in the center, outside or inside line. You can also add another color to your design by pressing this plus icon. And effects, you can make a cool effect kind of like a shadow or glass morphism, like glass kind of thing boss design. whatever it is, and below that you have export. And this is how you export your design, or you can go to files and then export frames as PDF or export. The shortcut is Shift Command and E. So to add a text to your website design, you can press T on your keyboard, or this Times New Roman font kind of thing, T, and press it, and just click it on the frames and then type anything you want. And after you type your texting, uh, there's a text pop-up menu on the left side on your design. You can choose the font type, maybe the plus color signs, and then the font weight, maybe bold, and then the size of it. And there's also the predetermined sizes that Figma tells you. You can also change the line height. Maybe you have two and hello like this, and you want to make it a bit denser and just drag it along. And to make it back to automatic again, you step in auto. And you can also change the letter spacing to make it more, you have more space between the letters, and the paragraph spacing, auto width, height on boxes, and text align center to the right or left, and then align middle top, and there's a lot of, and then there's, if you have, if you wanna have some flexibilities, you can also have more advanced settings on the typing settings. To change the color also, just go back to fill box and then color it whatever you want. Now let's make this simple website that I've made earlier. It's called Mountain Bromo. It's because I really like Mountain Bromo, and I haven't go there, so I made a web for no reason. So the first step to make this web, we're gonna search for the background for the website. Maybe you have your own photos or something. You can put it right here. Simply drag and drop it, or I think you can import something here. You know what? Just drag and drop it. The reason why I choose this, because uh, you can make basically the simple layout of a website is kind of like kind of like this. You have a big titles in it, uh, and then subtitle to explain the titles, and then you have the explanation, and then the button to go even deeper, and then this simple, what is it called, simple navigation, and the logo on the top right hand side. So back to the design, we're gonna determine the background. Usually when I searching for photos, I just start typing in Google, or what is it? Hold up, let me, yep. Search for flash.com. Wait. Oh no. I accidentally quit it. Open it again. Type in unsplash.com, and maybe you want to make a beach design, a beach to maybe you want the background to be a beach or a mountain or a landscape stuff, whatever it is. You can search it actually here. Mount Bravo. Okay, sliding. Nah, I think this is a good one. Just first is download stuff. Wait till it's downloaded. Now go back to your Figma's file and then go to your finders, find the photos, and then just drag it to the Figma and put it in the frame. Make it a little bit smaller. And usually when I add an image, I lower the exposure a little bit to make it a little bit dark, like that. Yeah, that's good. Now we make the titles. You can use any font you want. Like, I mean, recently found uh, a new font that kind of like almost the same like product science, the Google font. It named the plus color. You can put it in the center of it using this line shortcut. I think it would be better if you use extra ball and going to make subtitle for it. The main promo is located in East Java. Lower the font width and make it smaller and put it on top the East Java. I think you can see. Okay, good enough. And now we can uh, copy some text from Google about the information of your image or what it is, and copy it right here. And you just, if you have copied some text straight from the web or Google's, it will kind of like shape like this, and to simplify it, you just press this fixed size icon and drag it along to make it smaller. Now we have the information text. Make it a little bit bigger. Change it to like regular. Okay, like that, and then we're gonna make the button for the if your audience or user wanna know more about your image, to do that, usually when you make an icon, you just press a rectangle, drag it like this, and then change the color. Oh yeah, if you wanna change your color based on your other colors design, maybe you have a poster with blue and you make a poster with the same color, you can just press E on your keyboard, I, and then there's a dots thing and then giant, I don't know what it is, pop-ups, and then just hover it to whatever color you want and click it, and the box will change the color also. We wanna the user to just make it a little bit bigger. And now we gonna group this button by clicking Command blue or Control blue, Command G or Control G. I'm sorry. And the cool thing about Figma, there's one thing that called auto layout. So the way it works, same like its name, just uh, automatically layouting your design. But to use auto layout, you first have to make it frame the design by right clicking and then frame section or option command G on MacBooks. And as you can see, this auto layout comes out. And quick things about button anatomy is uh, the margin for it. I think I make it a little bit bigger, too big. You know what? We're gonna oh yeah, and if you wanna scale anything, if you have a design and you wanna scale it down, I recommend using the scale tool or K on pressing K on the keyboard. So you scale everything with it, because when you use the normal move tool, it will change the text and stuff in a weird way. Okay, so we have that. I'll make this a little bit bigger. No, okay. And then frame section, Control Command G, and press this auto layout. And wait, what the heck? Where's happening? Hold on. Oh yeah, forgot. There you go, and then auto layout. Nice. And quick tips also, again, when you make a button, there's also things called button anatomy. So when you make a button, the top margin and the left margin must be one times two. So maybe you have the top margin is 20, so the left margin should be 40. There you go. Because it's the rule of design, so you can change it. And we can make it what it did. Yeah, this is good enough. And I'm gonna scroll it down a little bit. Now there we have it. Don't forget to group it. Command G and then put it in the middle. Now we're gonna make the what is it called, the navigation bar and the icon for your things. So to make the navigation bar, this text basically this text the type in what do you want in the navigation bar, home, then comment C, comment V, contact, what, no, contact, offers, no, tour, and when you have it, just select three of them and then go to this and tidy up the margin and then you can also change the margin by dragging this thing. I usually put it in nice numbers, maybe 50 and scale down to 22. Yeah, and to differentiate them from the rest, I usually change the unselected navbar with a lighter font weight and turn down the opacity on it. That you can put it on the top right hand corner. Don't forget to group it with Command G. This to so you have to see enough. And then to make the search icon is quite simple actually. You zoom in on your trackpad or Command Plus, and create an ellipse by Shift and just drag it uh, from our trackpad and then add a stroke on it and change the color to white. And to make the handle for the search, I usually use paint. What is it called? This the pen tool. Click on the side and click on the other one. Select that. Change the color. Add the and just rotate it while pressing Shift by 45 degrees, I think. So you can type it in here. Align it with the search thing. Or you know what? You can just put it in here and then just rotate it after that. Make it a little bit shorter. Okay, group it. Don't forget. Rotate. There we go. And we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. Okay, like that, and just align it. Okay, now we have that, and then copy the logo, or maybe you have a something logo, or whatever it is, and just copy it right there. Now, and there you have it. There's a simple website design and me explaining Figma and some of the basic of Figma and how to design with it. Thank you, Kak Iyad. Well,
Okay, so thank you from Mr. Carl. Okay, so I wanna ask again about your UX. So, what the important things we learn in your UX? The important things we have to learn.
okay, so the important things is, I mean, most of the time your UX designer use in a your UX designer works as a team, so you must develop a team relationship and yeah, and in that you also have some problem solving mind, open mindset, and then user centered uh, and user centered process. So don't design an app that looks cool for you, but design an app that can solve the user problem with good visuals. Maybe that's it.
Okay, so do you have advice for the beginner of UX designer
Okay, so my
for
advice is keep trying, just keep pushing. Makes as many design as possible for your portfolios. Maybe join some online courses or webinars. Just keep learning, and eventually you'll get the the essential things to maybe that's it. Just keep pushing.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Carl.
Yeah, bye bye.
So, okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching and see you next time.